Hello everybody, my name is Fortefyre, and I'm going to be reacting to top 20 most difficult video games of all time. Now, if you're familiar with WatchMojo, they make a lot of lists, and usually I don't really put too much mind to it. It's just something I can watch at 2 in the morning after the stream, and I just want to veg out on YouTube, right? But when they start talking about video games, that's when it piques my interest, because I am fucking incredibly intrigued to hear what they believe are the top 20 most difficult video games of all time. I haven't watched this video yet. I saved it for an idea like this just in case a video ever dug out of the ground that wasn't created by somebody, you know, that's, you know, just like me and you, a normal person, not a corporation. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk. I'm curious. I'm really fucking curious. Let's see what they think the 20 most difficult video games of all time are. Let's go.
Well, good, because we got a list for you.
They're gonna put every fucking Dark Souls game on this goddamn list.
Our picks for the top
they're gonna put that. They're probably gonna put Cuphead
of all time. For this list, we're looking at some of the
Celeste
hardest
is a good
titles
one.
across
Celeste
all
is a
of
great
gaming,
game. If you've never played Celeste,
or not.
All right. I got stuff to say about Cuphead. All right, what are we starting with?
Number 20, Gradius.
Okay. Gradius is hard. Gradius is hard.
Before Gradius released in 1985, audiences had grown used to the simplistic nature of games like Space Invaders and Galaga. Titles were...
Okay. Boy! Okay, so Ricky. Okay, alright. Space Invaders came out in 1978, okay? This game came out in like 85. The difference between 70s and 80s arcade games are phenomenal, okay? Galaga came out in 1981. Sinistar came out in 1982. Sinistar is the equivalent of having your nuts stapled to your inner thigh, okay? So, I don't know. Gradius isn't that hard to the point where it's like the most difficult game of all time. Are you fucking kidding me? Amongst every bullet hell that exists now? Get out of here. No way. No way. You're putting that up against Tauhu, or Tuhu, whatever the fuck it's called, Ikaruga. You're putting that up against all the cave shooters, Mushihime-sama. I don't speak Nippon language, I don't know this shit. But you're putting Gradius, and to be honest, here's the thing, here's the fucked up thing. Why would you put arcade games in a list of most difficult video games of all time? That's kind of biased. Here's the reason why. Arcades take your money. They're not supposed to let you win, so why the fuck would it be an easy game to begin with? If you don't believe me, go to any casino. Do you think casinos got big by letting you win? I think not. That's just the way it works, right? I mean, look at SNK. SNK stands for Shin Nihon Kikoku, which roughly translated in American English means fuck you, give me your money, right? So, I don't know. Gradius is a hard game, but it's not the hardest shooter of all time. What else do you say about this?
And enemies came in from one side of the screen. Gradius subverted expectations by introducing more complex patterns in enemy movement, as well as
complex patterns. It's all about the patterns, guys. It's about the patterns. You're never gonna bring up the fucking volcano that shits on your face and is the first boss? Subscribe to them.
You could say it was one of the earliest examples of the bullet
and turn on your notifications.
All
right, what's next?
19, VVV.
So this is one of those rage games. I've never played it. I've seen like tons of people play it, but I never got into it. Just wasn't my jam, you know? Wasn't my jam. This is a very difficult game, but it's designed that way. So this is like, I Want to Be the Guy, the movie, the game, whatever. I Want to Be the Guy, Gaiden, Super Meat Boy. These games were designed to be hard on purpose, right? They're designed to be hard, plain and simple. They want you to rage quit. That's what this is about.
With rage by the end of your first hour. How anyone can finish this game in under 2 hours is unfathomable.
Somebody did it. They got the world record.
Somebody managed to do it.
Yeah. Okay. What you got next?
Number 18, Ikaruga.
Good choice. This is a good game. This is probably one of the most difficult bullet hells I've played, and mostly because you have to pay attention. So I don't know if they're going to explain it, but you change the polarity between blue and red.
It looks similar to other bullet hell shooters, but there's a whole new mechanic you'll have to manage.
I think they're going to talk about it. You didn't change your polarity. Didn't pay attention. That's why you're dying. I think that they're beefing it up a little bit to make it seem like it's a little bit harder than it really is.
Peppering you with bullets of both polarities at the same time. Just pay attention to what you're doing, or you may find yourself quickly decimated.
Yeah, you just gotta pay attention. That's all it is. Definitely keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Number 17, Silver Surfer. Yeah, it wouldn't be long before we started getting into the unfairly hard games, and Silver Surfer was one of the worst. A side-scrolling shooter starring Galactus' servant sounds decent.
Alright, we're gonna talk about principle. There's this distinct difference between games that are hard because they're designed to be hard, and hard because somebody had no fucking clue what they were doing. Distinct difference, okay? Distinct. Silver Surfer is a jank-ass game. Strider is hard because it's a jank-ass game. You can't, it's NES, it's 8-bit, this is what they were known for, this is what we had to work with, this is it, you know? There was nothing else. And this is a common trope for SG-1000 and NES and pretty much any other 8-bit computer that was out there, is that they're like, oh, this game's hard. No, it's not that it's hard, it's a piece of shit. Yeah, 1 second, take a look at this. 3D World Runner, bad by people who didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Adventure Island, bad because people know what the fuck they were doing. Castlevania 3, hard on purpose. Dirty Harry, bad by design. Double Dragon, kind of a shitty port, but by design. Ghosts and Goblins, hard by design. Gradius, hard by design. Ninja Gaiden, hard by design. Platoon, hard because somebody didn't know what the fuck they were doing. I've never played this, by the way. I've refused to play this. I've avoided it like the plague, to be honest.
Needless to say, the game was far too brutal, and we soon found ourselves kneeling over just like the Silver Surfer. We can only imagine how many tantrums were thrown by younger players.
I have no intention of playing this game ever. What's next?
Number 16, FZero GX.
I wouldn't say that this game is hard though, it's just fast. That's what F-Zero was always known for. If you go back to like Super Nintendo era, it's
Due to its intense speed
just
and
as difficult to be
designs,
honest.
The F-Zero franchise has always been one of the toughest racing games you could play. However,
I remember I was a
the roughest
kid,
ride in the series
and
was
I went to
F-Zero GX
GameStop,
on
and I
the
won a t-shirt because I got first place the first time I ever played. I never owned a GameCube growing up. So I think that they may be going on a circuit that's like way too hard just to get the footage.
The game's fast-paced action made it
I
hard
don't
for the
know.
average player to keep up. The learning curve is so sharp that anyone who picked up a controller would find
It's not a hard learning
exploding
curve.
before finishing their second lap.
What are you talking
Those that
about?
stuck around to hone their skills found a wild and exhilarating experience.
What's next?
Number 15, Devil May Cry 3.
This game is a
Dante's
piece of
Awakening.
shit. This game was hard because Japan fucked it up, right? So Japan
Devil
fucked it
May
up
Cry
and gave
series
us
has been
the...
known to be rather challenging in its combat. You'll need to pull every combo you know and take as little damage as
I
possible.
was going to
if you
say it.
want to
I don't want to
hide
jump ahead
away.
of
them
a
all,
good point
Devil
that they
May
might
Cry 3
make.
Dante's Awakening is the most notorious entry in the franchise.
It's hard. It's a hard fucking game. Hack and slash galore.
Players had to be on their best performance to emerge victorious, but because the game's normal mode was Japan's hard mode, few made it to the end. Fans had become so frustrated that Capcom had to re-release the game as Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition,
This is true.
adjusted difficulty.
So the thing about pretty much any game is that in Japan, they don't fuck around when it comes to hard difficulties. 100%. Come here, let me tell you a secret. Come closer. Closer. Japan thinks that we're bitches when it comes to video games. I can't tell you how many games are more difficult in Japan than they are in the United States, just the way it is. So for this game specifically, like the guy talking in here mentioned, we got the Japanese hard version, right? And usually the way it goes is Japanese hard, or American hard, my bad. American hard is Japanese easy. So we got the fucked up, ultra difficult version of this game, and then like he said, they re-released it. Now, I have the Devil May Cry HD collection. I don't really know which one is on there. I remember beating it, but it was a motherfucker of a time. Guy's an asshole too. That motherfucker.
Number 14, Takeshi's Challenge.
This is fucked up. Nobody in their mind is able to play this game. Okay. Before he says anything, this game was created by a fucking actor, okay? This game was created by an actor and released by Taito, okay? And believe it or not, I happen to own it. But the thing that sucks about this game is that it's the ultimate game of trial and error. I love Myst. Don't get me wrong, I love Myst. I feel like Myst could be subtitled as what the fuck did this button do, where do I go, etc. This game is Takeshi's Challenge, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. That's what it says there in Nippon language. It says, I don't know what the fuck's going on. You see, he doesn't know either. He's clueless. I'm pretty sure if I asked him to play this game, he'd be like, oh, nani? You know, he wouldn't fucking know. And plus, the only way to beat it would be to play it on true hardware. There's a part in the game where you have to scream into the microphone on like the second controller or something. So good luck doing that on an emulator. This game was never released in America, so good luck.
Is certainly one of the oddest titles you can find on the Famicom, but don't let its absurd and occasionally depressing nature fool you. This game's difficulty lies in just...
Yeah, this guy has like the worst luck ever. He gets a divorce and you have to pay your wife alimony and then go beat up some fucking people in a pachinko parlor. It's stupid. It's not a good game. It's not a good game. I've never... So I'm on Mega Man 4 right now. I play games in order. I've heard things about Mega Man 9, but isn't this like one of the newer ones? That's why it's so difficult. You have modern like standards being incorporated with a Mega Man game. You're bound to have this happen. I've seen people play X6, and I feel like X6 is immensely more difficult than this. Same with Mega Man 0. No. Are they going off of, wait, achievements?
You'll also have to beat the game 5 times in one day and beat the game in under an hour for 2 other achievements.
Yeah, but achievements don't make a game hard. Most people aren't going after achievements. At least I'm not. You know, if people are just trying to get to the end, who fucking cares about achievements? Cuphead? Okay, so Cuphead's only really hard if you've never played a horizontal like shoot 'em up in your life.
With its gameplay similar to another platformer shooter and frenetic boss battles, Cuphead has quickly become one of the most memorable games of the 2010s.
Cuphead's a good game.
Boss battles, however,
I've had to beat it for like my kids 20 times now, so I think I could probably beat it in one sitting. Motherfucker ran into the guy! Of course you're gonna die. That's how that works. Are you serious right now? Get off my dick.
That it'll feel like you've been in the fight for at least an hour.
They're not even trying. They're just showing the game is hard and purposely dying to get footage. See, that's how you're supposed to play it. Look.
But we could have sworn that we aged a few years.
You did it once, but then you fucked it up the second time, whatever.
Ghouls and Ghosts.
I want to play, so
Capcom's most
so this is my next game that I'm playing on like the franchise for Ghouls and Ghosts. I've seen people play Ghouls and Ghosts, and yes, it is hard, but so is Super Ghosts and Goblins as well as the original Ghosts and Goblins. If I had to like choose the hardest game out of the first 3 that came out, I'd probably go with NES Ghosts and Goblins. That game is hard as fuck. And then you gotta beat it 2 times, which is the normal trope for every single game in the series. You gotta beat it twice to get the true ending. But what frustrates me here is like, why? Why choose this
in
one?
Their entire catalog, where Arthur must traverse several hazardous areas to rescue Princess Prin from Lucifer.
Her name's Prin
When it comes to talking about difficult games, you simply can't leave this one out of the conversation. The game is constantly spawning monsters.
I wonder why he didn't mention that at the beginning of every game he likes to fuck his chick in the graveyard before somebody kidnaps her. It's bound to happen.
On top of that, health is rare, and the platforming requires a hefty amount of precision.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It doesn't take much. He jumps like an idiot, but it doesn't take that much.
If you want to see the true ending. Yeah. Although, is the stress really worth it?
No, it's not. That's why I don't like this series. At least they let you continue. That's the kicker.
Number 10, Contra Hardcore.
This game is hard as fuck. This is a hard fucking game. It's also extremely expensive, so if you're a true hardware collector, you're gonna pay a lot for this game. There's no way around it. Again, Super Meat Boy is just a rage game. It is a very difficult game. I'll give him that. But like I said, these games are designed in such a way to make you frustrated. They're designed to be difficult. They're not meant to beat in one sitting. That's just the way it is. If you ever do watch a speed run of this, it's phenomenal. It's fucking phenomenal. Because it's almost like the person had to memorize every single point to jump every single time. I've never played it. I think I remember hearing something about it on Newgrounds like way back in the day, but I've never played it. I feel like Punch-Out is a lot more difficult if you're trying to play it on contemporary systems. because there's an input lag and it's pretty gnarly.
Nintendo has made its fair share of difficult games, as we'll see later on.
But once you understand the gimmick for every single fighter, it's night and day.
While many of us have shown King Hippo who the real champ is,
It's the easiest fight in the game, by the way, outside of Glass Joe.
Number 7, Dark Souls.
Oh, here we go. I was wondering when they were gonna pop one of these fuckers on there.
I mean, come on. Are any of us surprised to see a Dark Souls game, let alone...
But if you're gonna choose a From Software game, I would go with Tenchu. That game is really fucking hard. Have you ever played Tenchu? I think that's what Sekiro Shadows Die Twice or whatever the fuck it's called was supposed to be a Tenchu game, but then they made its own style stuff.
One area that immediately enters our minds is the accursed Blight Town, an area that throws incredibly
I've never played this game. I have Demon Souls, the first game in the series.
Veteran players might not find the first Dark Souls to be as hard as they did initially, but newcomers will be foaming at the mouth.
I've seen that happen so many times and it makes me laugh every single time. Every single time.
Number 6, Castle. Well, maybe you do.
Okay, let's take a look. Let's do a little analysis, right? Castlevania 1, yes, it's hard. And I know what he's talking about. A, the Grim Reaper, and B, Medusa Hall. Those are the hardest parts of the game. Other than that, it's pretty cake as long as you're slashing and shit, you know, you're fine. Castlevania 2 was really, really hard because it was cryptic and it was totally a departure from everything that Castlevania was, right? I personally love Castlevania 2, but I know a lot of people who don't, because there's elements in the game that are just fucking ridiculous. For example, cryptic puzzles that you don't really get hints for because the townspeople barely speak English. You'd think that you're fucking calling an Indian call line, for Christ's sake. It just doesn't make any sense, right? And there's a version of the game, I think it's a ROM hack, it's called Redacted, Castlevania 2 Redacted. I learned about it from Angry Video Game Nerds. As a matter of fact, his video is the reason why I beat Castlevania 2, because otherwise I would have not known. I didn't use a walkthrough. I ran all over the place trying to figure out what to do, and yeah, it's pretty cool. And then you got Castlevania 3, which is exceptionally fucking difficult, and to be honest, it's kind of a shame that you didn't put that down here. And by the way, where the fuck's Ninja Gaiden? That game's hard as shit too, are you kidding me? Castlevania 1 is not hard. It's not hard. Just take your time, you're fine.
In and walk out. Castlevania will find every way to troll you while beating you senseless.
No, it won't. He's not even whipping. He's not even whipping. They give this controller to my child? To my 10-year-old? What the fuck? There you go, there you go, there you go, there you go. Keep spamming the whip.
Trust us, it will happen. Boss fights can be equally frustrating at times, as you'll have specific windows to dodge their attacks, and some may only take.
I don't remember the frogman walking. Oh yeah, I do remember him walking through the.
Think
Yeah.
you can bring down Dracula?
He's standing in the bone dragon. Of course you're gonna die.
Number 5, Super Mario Brothers.
Fuck off.
Lost Levels.
Absolutely, this game is absolutely difficult.
For the original Super Mario Bros. 2, well, the Japanese release, Nintendo had sheltered this game from Western audiences, fearing it would steer them away from the franchise, and
It would have, 100%. If this game would have come out in America, nobody would have touched Mario again. That would have been it.
Lost Levels is insanely punishing in comparison.
I beat this on the Super Mario All-Stars cart, and even then it's still really hard. It's watered down, but it's still just as hard, just as difficult. So yeah, or get good.
Number 4, Celeste.
This is one of the games that I've always wanted to play, but I've never had the time to. And it's so beautiful. It's such a great art style too.
Well, say hello to 2018's media darling, Celeste.
Yeah, this is a good one.
A wonderful tale
Good artwork. Good artwork, great music, great platforming.
It's
fantastic.
Is its intense platforming.
That's hard.
Levels will demand flawless execution, throwing in more obstacles and more spikes to kill you off. And you'll find the game gets extremely hard when you get to the B-side or C-side stages. Our advice, enjoy the breathers while you can, and don't be afraid to walk away for a bit. Number 3.
God.
I want to be the guy.
I was wondering when this is going to pop up if it was. I was wondering when this game was going to pop up. This is like the OG Rage game. It's like Cat Mario. This brings me back. This one's a fucking gem. It like took everything that every retro gamer loved and threw it into a game and made you react to it. It was pretty cool. It's like, what won't kill me in this game? Colorful language, is that what they're saying now?
Shadows Die Twice.
How many From Software games are you gonna put in there? Just gonna assume you might as well put the entire fucking library. You could put 10 out of the 20 games on there if you really wanted to.
Titles, the Dark Souls franchise and Bloodborne, we didn't think it was possible for them to make a harder game.
This game is gorgeous, though.
Way to put
Fucking
our
gorgeous.
foot in our mouths.
Death.
Sekiro Shadows Die Twice may look like a Soulsborne game, but it does not.
Do that.
Number 1, Battletoads.
Battletoads is a hard game.
Even when 2 From Software games are on this list, we still have to declare Battletoads as the hardest game of all time. There's simply too much that this game throws at players that have caused many a controller to break. For starters, those speeder bike levels. Dear God, the speeder bike levels.
Yep. This is one game that I haven't gone out of my way to purchase or do anything with because I'm afraid that I'm gonna have a coronary. This game is hard as shit. Stupid fucking hard game.
Wrong. It can be really easy to hit your friends and possibly cost them a life, and if just one of you die, just one, you both have to restart the level.
I never knew that. Fuck that shit. Playing it by my goddamn self.
Sadistic.
What is this rewind feature they're using?
In the mood for more awesome gaming content?
Top 10 actors with best fake accents!
On Mojo Plays.
Is that Margot Robbie? Who's the person on the right? Is that Antonio Banderas, but younger and with facial damage? Alright, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be honest. I'm not going to lie. I expected that there'd be like a shit ton of Dark Souls games on there, because that's what everybody thinks, that this is the standard of hard games. But you've got to bear in mind, no matter what happens, if you're playing games, there's a difference between NES difficult and contemporary difficult. It's just different dynamic, different platform, different abilities. I feel that in contemporary setting, it's a lot harder to create a more difficult game, whereas the simplicity of the difficulty back in the NES was just totally different. I don't know. That's just my opinion, though. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. And from my family to your family, good energy, good vibes. Fortefyre out.